All right. Welcome back to the Your Future Endeavors podcast. I am Diavolo,
And I'm Lunchbox.
and today we have the Extreme Rules show to cover, the pay-per-view. And
Yes.
man, yeah, this one was a bit of a
Mhm.
roller coaster of emotions, I think, would be the best way to describe what happened here. Uh, I just, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really a big fan of this pay-per-view. I don't know how you feel about it, but I wasn't too
Yeah.
thrilled with what happened here. Um, yeah, we'll go ahead and jump right into it because I think we got a lot of things to talk about. So um,
Oh,
so we started off with the pre-show match, which why did they put this match on the pre-show? I don't know. And then a last minute thrown together six-man tag like as the opening match. I guess Biggie being WWE champion and stuff, it's fine or whatever. But I felt like this deserved a main show spot. Um, but I digress. So it opened up in the pre-show with Carmella versus Liv Morgan, and like the main, like I said, the main knock I had was that it was on the pre-show, and I didn't really appreciate that because I thought there's something else they could have probably thrown together to put in there, or or even the six-man tag could have gone in there in my opinion. But the match itself was pretty good. Um, the main takeaway from like just the action itself is like Liv has shown us or was continuing to show us what we already knew that she was capable of doing, putting on really good matches, and it ended up where she got the W here, which I'm very happy about that. Um, but yeah, like I said, the only problem was that for me was that it was on the pre-show. It was a good match. Um, and Liv, like I said, Liv got I think it's her second pay-per-view singles victory, which is very good. But I'm pretty sure both of them now were on the pre-show, so I can't wait to see her get like a main show spot because I think she's proven that she can handle that. I'm betting she'll probably get that in the future, um, but yeah, I thought this was good, and like I said, Liv showed us what we already knew that she could do, put on really good matches, and it's, hopefully as long as she's continuing to get you know a solid push, like her trajectory is rising, her star is rising. People are really behind her, and so I think we'll talk about it on the other show. They announced a little thing that I actually have a prediction with her for. So, um, but yeah, I thought this was pretty good. What was your opinion of this Carmella and Liv Morgan match?
I thought it was real good, man. I feel like Liv Morgan has been going out there busting her ass and putting on good product for a while now, and fucking Vince is too stupid to fucking see it, and he's putting her on shit like the pre-show and fucking pushing her to the side to push other people. Some of them that don't even fucking deserve it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Well, but the match itself was pretty good. Carmella's a pretty good wrestler herself. She's not bad in the ring. Um, and I think her and Liv Morgan showed here why they deserve to be on the main card and not relegated to the kickoff show. Um,
yeah,
I don't, yeah, I don't know what Vince is doing, man. He thinks when people really like somebody that they want to see him on the pre-show and the main show, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Um, and that's not how it goes. That's how you lose viewers for your main show. Nobody wants to see the shit you want to see, Vince. I'm sorry.
yeah. That's true shit. Um, but yeah, like hopefully like she continues to get like like more momentum behind her, and that they eventually move on from this here Mella and Liv Morgan feud because I think it's gone on a little bit too long at this point. Liv's obviously had the upper hand for the majority of it. It's already beat her a couple times over the months or last few months, so let's let her move on to something different. I know eventually she'll get selected in the draft, so maybe that'll freshen up the competition and whatnot. Um, but yeah, so I think Liv Morgan's already proven, what is proven already what we knew that she could do, and it's time to really keep that momentum going. I really hope that they don't fucking put another halt to her push and take her off TV for some unforeseen amount of time. I just she's like I said, probably I think it was last week or something, the queen of stop start pushes at this point. So yeah, just keep the momentum going. Get her on the main show at some point. Um, and I think she'll deliver. She's like she has already. Um, but yeah, following this, we had a promo from Paul Heyman pre-show. It's pretty good. Anytime he talks is any words that come out of his face are usually some good shit. So um, not bad. It was essentially just hyping up the main event and hyping up Roman. That was pretty much what the what this serviced for. Um, that was pretty much it for the pre-show. Um, and I wish that how do I word this correctly? I wish that the pre-show either had like more significance or gave some people like some other people some chances. Like I felt like Liv and Mela could have gone main show. I understand why they put the New Day and Lashley and Styles and Omos on the main show because Big E being the WWE champion. But I felt like there were some other people that could have gone in that spot. Like you could have put like Tony Storm and Zelina Vega on the pre-show and got more faces on the card. But I want to see like actual storylines that have been like done over the last like couple months or couple weeks or however long be built up be on the main show from now on I think. But for what it's worth, it wasn't the worst thing I'd ever seen. Um, we'll get to that a little later. So uh, but yeah, so the opening match of the main card was the New Day versus Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, and Omos. Um, and for a thrown together match, it was pretty good. Um, and the finish was really interesting. It seemed like the heel team here really wanted all the glory. They obviously didn't have a really good communication at all. It was like AJ Styles he tagged in off of Bobby, went to go for the phenomenal forearm. I believe Big E dodged out of the way. Bobby had tagged back into the match, came in, tried to spear Big E, ended up hitting Styles. Big E picked him up, big ending, 1, 2, 3, and that was the end of it. It was pretty good. It was nice seeing the New Day as a trio out there. Um, but yeah, the only knock I have on this was just kind of thrown together. Like there was no real build to it, and it was. I guess it did what it was supposed to for like an opening match, and it's good to see. Obviously, the WWE champion needs to be on the card, but yeah, I didn't really like how it was just thrown together at last second.
I, I'm right there with you. I felt like while it was a decent matchup, I felt like it was another one of those throwaway matches that you can have on any Raw.
Yeah, that
Uh,
too. Yeah.
it, it felt kind of pointless to me. I mean, yeah, you need your main champion on the big on your pay per views, but I feel like they could have did it way better. They like instead of what they did this past week, which we'll talk about later when they had the rematch for Bobby Lashley and Big E on Raw. They could have easily switched out the 6-man match and had it on Raw and have Big E versus Bobby Lashley on the show, which would have made way more sense and I would have understood more and probably wouldn't have been as I don't know, just blah,
Yeah.
meh about the match. It would have made more sense to me. I wouldn't have been quite as upset at Carmella and Liv Morgan being on the kickoff show. It's like, okay, it's the WWE Championship match. I get it. But instead, we got this throwaway six-way match that it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there was like a couple like backstage segments where Kofi and Xavier were fucking with Styles and Omos a bit, but I don't think that was I don't think that was enough of a story build to suffice there being like this match on the card at all. Hell, they could have done New Day and Styles and Omos on the pre-show. You
Yeah,
know, like they could have done that. I just feel like I feel like the booking decisions that they made for this show were really subpar. Um, Even if the action itself was really good, just like the booking really was what killed it for me. Um, but for a thrown together match, it was decent. Um, and it had an actual finish, which is important. There was an actual pinfall, so that's always that's always a good thing to see, right? Um,
yeah.
look, we'll go ahead and move on. This was probably my favorite match of the night. Um, just given the whole package of everything that happened. Um, it was the Usos versus the Street Profits for the tag titles, and I thought this was an incredible match. High octane, exciting, really back and forth, fucking hot tags, everything. The crowd was really behind it. They were chanting, "This is awesome." Um, they were really playing on Montez Ford's rib injury here, which I thought was really good because he came out there all taped up and shit. Um, and it wasn't a bunch of hokey bullshit in this match. Um, it was a really solid contest. They're flying all over the place. Um, and these teams have great chemistry, which is always good to see because it just felt nothing in the match felt contrived. It felt really smooth front to back, and I think the end result was a bit predictable with the Usos retaining. They did end up winning. Um, because I don't see them taking the gold off the bloodline anytime soon. But um, there was, like I said, it was a really good match, and even the predictability of the finish didn't diminish the quality of the match at all. They went out there, they showed out, and they put on a really great matchup.
I think so too. I've come to expect the Usos to put on good matches. They're just a damn good tag team.
Yep.
Like I know we talk about the tag teams in AEW a lot because they're just so good. Um, and how honestly how much superior AEW's tag team division is to WWE's. But I feel like if there's one team I think could go toe to toe with any team in AEW in the argument for who's the best tag team in the world, it would be the Usos. The Usos are just that damn good, man. Like I still think about till this day the Usos versus the New Day in Hell in a Cell, like
Hmm.
that that they constantly put on matches like that, and I'm honestly the fucking the Street Profits are getting to that level too. They're a real good tag team, and they're consistently putting on good matches, and that's what I think we got here. Another consistently good match from the Usos and the Street Profits, just going out there, doing their job, entertaining the fans, putting on great matches.
Indeed, yeah. I was about to make that point. The Street Profits are definitely like right up there in that level, like where the with the Usos and the New Day. um, where they've kind of dominated over the last like however many fucking years now. What, like 5, 6, 7 years they've been dominating uh, that part of the tag team division, and it's good to see that the Street Profits are like like right there, and they can hang. And I really enjoy what they're able to do, and I think they're really the total package. Like they're probably not exactly on that level just yet, but they're right there. They're really close behind because they put on great matches. They have really good promo work from both of them. There's not like one of them's more of a mouthpiece than the other. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford are really good on the mic. Um, their styles mesh really well with Montez being more of the high flyer and the acrobatic one, and Angelo Dawkins being more of the bruiser type. Their styles mesh together really well, and I see them, going down as one of the best tag teams of all time without a doubt.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. They're a phenomenal tag team, and I think even though they've been Raw and SmackDown tag team champions, I still think they have a bright future ahead of them. That they definitely have more title runs in them and great matches in them as well.
Indeed, indeed. Um, Following this match, which, like I said, it was probably my favorite part of the night. Um, it was a Bobby Lashley promo, and he was mad as hell, just pacing around backstage, just pissed off at Big E, talking about, like I was injured whenever you cashed the Money in the Bank. I want my rematch. He called him a chicken shit, uh, which I guess they're allowed to cuss now more in WWE. I've been hearing a lot more, not more bullshits, chicken shits, whatever, coming out of people in WWE. So maybe we're gonna get some edge back finally. Um, but I thought this was a good promo. I think Lashley's really coming to his own um, over the last like 2 years or so, being alongside MVP in the Hurt Business and stuff. He's done an incredible job with his character, just coming off as this seething beast of a person who is finally just unlocked, like like MVP talked about a long time ago, like unlocking like who Lashley really is at his core, and it's nice to see him be in that spot. So I really enjoy Lashley's work now. Not that it didn't before, but I think he's just really refined it and perfected it. Um, yeah, I thought the promo was good. Um, but I will say I do want them to start moving on from Biggie and Lashley. I think it's about time. But we'll see what happens with the draft.
I agree. I think, like you said, everything is coming full circle for Bobby Lashley's character, and I think he's damn good at what he does. Um, I think that this promo proved that he knows what he's doing and he's got this character down. But I do agree with you. Um, I don't want to see any more uh, Bobby Lashley and Big E. They've had their thing. Um, if you watch Raw this week, you know there's other potential stuff going on.
Yep.
But uh, yeah, man, I thought it was a good segment, and I can't wait to see what the future brings for Bobby.
Indeed. Um, Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing him go to SmackDown maybe, or if he does stay on Raw, like just going in a different direction. But I think he definitely needs something fresh to get back into things.
I agree.
Um, so following this, we had it was Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair. Now, I know a lot of people were pretty upset about this match, like how it happened. Um, I kind of felt like the direction that they ended up going with was going to be the one that they did, even though I kind of wanted to see Alexa Bliss win. But um, I digress. So the match itself was pretty good. Um, There was a spot in the match where Charlotte did like Andrade's double moonsault thing, where he does the moonsault off the top, they roll out the way, then he finishes and uh, finishes like on the ground and does the moonsault on top. So Charlotte did that as like an homage to her fiance. I think they're engaged. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, like I said, the match was really good. I really enjoyed that spot. It's really cool, like whenever the couples like do each other's moves. I think that's really awesome. Um, the crowd was pretty into it, at least as far as like whenever Alexa Bliss had the upper hand. Um, but when it came down to the finish here, uh, Charlotte used Lily as a distraction in order to get the upper hand back. I believe she hit natural selection, ended up getting the W. Um, and as soon as the bell rang from whenever she won, the crowd started booing like crazy. Like it was very loud. I'm fairly certain everybody in there wanted to see Alexa win, or not. Well, I say everybody, but the majority of people wanted to see Alexa win that. Um, and then she took Lily and literally just ripped her to shreds. Um, which I'm assuming this signifies probably maybe a different character um, for Alexa Bliss. Maybe she like reverts back to like where she was before, or maybe she just goes in a different direction and becomes like a much more sinister, dark version of the character that she is now. I'm not sure. Uh, but Alexa like tried to go back and assault Charlotte Flair. Flair got the upper hand, walked away. Um, and Alexa was like completely devastated. She sold it well. It was literally like somebody ran over her dog or something, right? Like she really sold it well. Um, and I believe there like right at the end, like she's sitting on the ramp and like crying and holding Lily's disemboweled carcass in her arms, and there was like "Thank you, Lily" chants coming from the stands, which I sometimes wrestling fans can be pretty fucking ridiculous, but uh, I thought that was
Yeah,
kind of funny. Uh, but yeah, so like as like the segment as a whole, I thought it was good. The match itself was good. I think the major talking point also like for this is what happened after, obviously, and I'm interested to see where Alexa Bliss goes from here. Like, does she kind of go back to her old self? Obviously, like I know a lot of people weren't really happy with her gimmick because it is very much like the Fiend, who they just went ahead and released for whatever reason. Um, so maybe they go in a different direction. Maybe she becomes a much more sinister, dark version of the character that she is. I'm not sure, but I'm interested to see where that goes.
I'm me too, man. Honestly, I kind of hope that she reverts back to her goddess days
Hmm.
because I've been very vocal before about how I don't like it. I don't like how they stole the Fiend's gimmick and gave it to Alexa Bliss. No fault on her, but like the WWE did some dick shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was a dick move. This man came up with this idea on his own, created it eh, down to the very least detail. Like everything about it is Bray Wyatt. Well, Wyndham, I'll call him. That's his actual name. Uh, and they took it from him and they gave it to somebody else and gave him the boot, which is some bullshit. Like,
Yeah. I
yeah,
I like you know how I feel about it. I wasn't I'm not happy about it at all. Um, but given like we said, no fault to Alexa. She's just kind of going out there and doing what she's booked to do, right? But and she really did well with the character, all things considered. But it definitely took a minute for like the fans to be behind her with it too, cause I remember, God, what was it? Fucking not even like the next week it was on Raw, and like after it was after Bray got released, and the fans were chanting "We want Wyatt," like and stuff. Like people were definitely not behind her for some time. So she definitely it definitely took some time for her to like win the crowd over. I think they probably had placed some blame on her, which is not fair. But yeah, I would like to see a new character direction. I'm just not sure where it goes. Like, um, because she does go back to like like the Twisted Bliss character. Like uh like where would she go? Like what direction? Like how would they book it? It's very I guess it's very intriguing. I guess it definitely left me with more questions than answers. So I guess in that aspect it's good, but um, another question I really have here is like who's gonna be the one to take the title off of Charlotte? So I guess they don't really have anybody else like established in order to take that spot. I know they um, like teased a couple things on Raw, but I'm not really sure what direction they go there.
I'm not sure, man. Honestly, because the Raw Women's division isn't all that great. Well, it's not that they're not great. Let me reword what I said. They haven't been booked great,
Yeah,
and they haven't really lined anybody up to step up and take that championship.
right. Yeah, it's seemingly you know uh, 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 yeah, especially those like the two people that they kind of did have established in order to um at least contend for the title are now the women's tag team champions and Rhea and Nikki. So, and I
Yep.
don't see Natalia being in that spot. I don't see Tamina being in that spot. Um, and obviously we'll probably get some fresh faces with the draft, but um, like I said, I'm not sure who takes that spot. Maybe Charlotte will just be champion forever. We'll we'll see what happens. But uh, I'm not sure if people would really like to see that though. Um, I digress. Moving on, we had another pretty good match here. It was probably like up there with the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match for me. You had it was Sheamus and versus Jeff Hardy and versus Damian Priest for the United States Championship. Um, I really liked like the mix of styles here. It really flowed together well. Obviously, with Jeff being a high flyer, Priest kind of being like in between, and Sheamus being the physical bruiser type. Um, there was a funny spot in the match where Sheamus was on the top rope and he was mocking Jeff Hardy's fucking fucking dance that he does, um, which I thought was really cool. Um, there was like a pinning situation. I don't remember who was on top for the pin, but Jeff Hardy did a swanton onto both of them to break it up. Um, yeah, the match was good, but the only real problem I had with it was it was a surprise roll up finish. Damian Priest ended up getting the W, but fucking he rolled Sheamus up to get it, and I don't think we need to be booking Priest to fucking do surprise roll up finishes. He's he's pinned just about everybody he's been in the ring with. Like he's beaten over the course since he's been on the main roster. He's beaten the Miz. He's beat John Morrison. He pinned Drew McIntyre clean in a triple threat match, right? Like, so I don't think he's somebody who needs to resort to fucking surprise roll up finishes. But I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not a booker. Um, so I thought the match was pretty good. The finish definitely was left more to be desired, but the match and the action, the meat and potatoes of everything, was really good in my opinion. I enjoyed it, and also there was a cool moment afterwards where Priest and Hardy like kind of like shook each other's hand, showed respect to each other, which you don't get like too often in wrestling. So I thought that was really dope because I know Priest looks up to Jeff Hardy in a major way. So
I I enjoyed this matchup. Priest and Sheamus have been putting on some damn good matches for a little while now. Um, and adding Jeff Hardy to the mix was just like icing on the cake, man. Jeff is still good. Jeff can still go out there and put on decent matches and do his crazy shit that he's always doing. And I think they all put on a real good match. But like you said, fucking surprise roll up. Like he's beaten Sheamus clean a few times now, right? Like
Oh
why the
yeah.
fuck does he need what does he need to surprise roll up Sheamus for? Like that's the only way he can beat Sheamus? Come on, man. You done shown me he can beat Sheamus clean a few times now. Like
Yeah, like I feel like as easy as they could have done the surprise roll up, they could have just had him, like right there at the end of the match where he would have done it, just hit him with that little the bell clap bell ringer thing that he does. Hit him with hit the
yeah,
lights, one, two, three. It would have and it would have gone probably much. It would have gone over much better with the audience than just another surprise roll up finish. Um, it's tiring every time they do it. It borderline kills my mood. Like luckily, like I really enjoyed like the match itself. Like it didn't kill it that much for me, but shit,
oh
like
yeah,
it's an overused thing in wrestling, and every time I see it, I just want to punch my monitor. Like, 'cause
yeah,
it's like if I ever get into wrestling, I would say the surprise roll up is probably going to be my finisher, because having an actual finisher means nothing. At least that's what I get from it.
yeah, yeah. Um, I really didn't like the surprise roll up, and honestly, as good as the matches Sheamus and Priest have been putting on, I think it's time for a new challenge for Priest.
Yes.
Um, no offense to Sheamus, Sheamus could put on great matches. He's good at what he does. I don't know. This is what like the 17th time Priest has beaten him. Like, why does Sheamus keep getting chances?
Right.
Like, I put Sheamus on SmackDown or something, or fucking put him in a different feud. Put him in the WWE title picture, something. But I don't think I'm getting a little worn out on the Sheamus Priest thing. Not to say the match was bad because the match was good, but I think that's a good ending place for the Priest Sheamus feud.
Right. Yeah. So I would much rather them move on from this. And this has like kind of been the problem with Monday Night Raw for I don't even know how long now. Is just we get rematch after rematch, and like people who lose are consistently getting chances at titles that they've already failed to capture. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it makes sense in their backstage area, but I feel like you're doing a disservice to the rest of the roster whenever you're consistently putting on the same shit every week. Like you're not giving people like the chance to actually like go out there and prove that they can they can be a main roster talent. You know what I mean? Like it's like we just recently I can't speak today. We just recently saw Keith Lee back on Raw, like just this week after like how long? Like you know what I mean? There's so many people in that backstage area that could benefit from being out there. I guarantee it if you just gave them the chance, and they're just not getting the chance. So that really bothers me, but like I said, I'm not a booker, so whatever. Uh, um, Anyway, moving on. We had everything kind of went into a tailspin from here, really. Um, so before that, we had a promo from Big E. He essentially called out Lashley, responded to the challenge, and we were gonna get a rematch between the two um, on Raw, which we'll talk about in a minute. well, not even in a minute. We'll talk about that at another time. But um, fucking that was essentially the whole purpose of the promo. It was good. He responded to the challenge and he accepted. So we will be getting the rematch on Monday Night Raw, and that's essentially um, everything with this promo. Um, then we had Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Um, the crowd was rocking for this early. They were definitely into it. Um, the match was really good. Um, it was back and forth. They were both getting their moves in. It definitely, uh, it definitely was getting over with the crowd. That's for sure. Um, but the main problem is that we had another DQ finish, and I guess it makes sense given what happened within the story here. Uh, but it was it was Sasha Banks returning, and she attacked Bianca, caused the DQ, beat the shit out of her, and then proceeded to attack Becky as well. Which, like I said, I guess it makes some sense given that uh, Becky's the one that replaced. I believe she replaced Sasha at SummerSlam, and so obviously she would feel some type of way about it and probably go after both of them. But I would have rather seen a clean finish here. I think, I think these two deserve to put on a match that gets a clean finish because it seems like we've been robbed of a really good, solid like WrestleMania caliber match between them twice now. With the obviously the 26 seconds at SummerSlam and then a DQ finish here. Even if the match itself leading up to it was good, I kind of felt robbed in a sense as a fan watching it because
Yeah.
you know the DQs, the surprise roll-ups, the countouts, the interference and distraction spots. They're so overused in WWE now, and so yeah, I just want to see uh, I want to see some clean finishes. That's it. But as far as like the segment as a whole, it wasn't horrible. I would just rather have not have seen the DQ.
I agree. The match for me was pretty damn good actually. And then, like you said, they kind of put a sour note on it at the end by having Sasha come out there and attack both of them, causing the DQ. And I don't know what they're doing with Sasha, man, because I don't even remember when she turned heel. Like,
It was on I think it was on like an episode of SmackDown. Yeah, it was because she came back. She helped Bianca fend off. I think it was Carmella and Zelina Vega. Then attacked her after the match.
oh yeah, shit.
But she was back for all of like 20 seconds and then went away for like another month.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like they keep their she's face 1 second, she's healed the next, she's here 1 second, she's gone the next. Like I don't know what the hell they got going on with Sasha Banks, but I'd wish they do something with her because she's so fucking talented, man. She's probably my favorite women's wrestler. She's just that fucking talented, man. She's the equivalent of an AJ Styles or Kenny Omega when it comes to women's wrestling. She can get in there with a broom and make the fucking broom look good.
Right.
And I don't know, man. I especially with something that happened in the draft. Like I don't know what direction they're going with the SmackDown's Women's Championship now. Like
Yeah.
I got, I'm totally confused.
Yeah, I'm definitely confused as well. And like I said, we'll be discussing all of that in another episode. But
Yeah.
it's just it's confusing. I'm not sure how to feel about it. Uh, and especially with her, like, because she after the main event of WrestleMania, she was gone for like however long it was, like 4 or 5 months. Like I'm not keen on time, but uh, she was gone for forever. Came back for like 20 seconds. Was again gone again for a month, and now she's back. And so she's not had any like actual sort of direction since coming back. So I'm definitely very confused um, with what they're gonna do with Sasha. Hopefully they do something, cause I'm not really like happy with the way that she's been booked since coming back. It just yeah, it doesn't really make sense. But you know, once again, I'm not a. I guess that's probably why I'm not a booker. Um, so anyway, moving on, we have our main event now,
Yep,
which is Roman Reigns versus the Demon Finn Balor. And I noticed as we are going into this match, we have a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules, and this is the only Extreme Rules match on the card. So before I even get into the action of the match, it's like if we're gonna have like these gimmick name, like these match gimmick pay-per-view names, there needs to be more of that gimmick on the show. Like we don't need to be doing like a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view and have like one Hell in a Cell match, right? We don't need to be doing an Extreme Rules pay-per-view and have one Extreme Rules match. It's like Money in the Bank's a bit different because you have like the men's and women's ladder matches, which that's fine. That's as far as like a gimmick pay-per-view, that's fine with me. Um, but all the other ones that they do, I think are just fucking dog shit. I guess you could throw the Royal Rumble in there with Money in the Bank as like the good ones, but that's been like a staple pay-per-view for years now. Like Hell in a Cell, Extreme Rules, those are more recent, like in the last like 10 years. So
yep,
it's I think they need to do away with those. Um, like especially if you're just not gonna if you're just gonna use like the gimmick name as like a cop out for a fucking pay per view, like why not just fucking bring back pay per views like Armageddon or Unforgiven, you know, like like I would much rather see those than the one Extreme Rules match or the one Hell in a Cell match or whatever. It diminishes the quality of them too. Like Hell in a Cell, like I know sometimes they do too many and they
yep,
don't and sometimes they don't book them well. So it's like Hell in a Cell used to be like for like the most bitter feuds, you know, like, like they could. I don't know. I feel like they do this too much, but I could go on and on and on about it. As far as the match itself, um, thought it was really good um, up until the very end. So as far as the action, um, it was an Extreme Rules match, so Roman like introduced a kendo stick uh, into the match. Um, the Demon introduced a bundle of kendo sticks. He had like eight of them fucking strapped together, like this big ass fucking like Dark Souls style sword or something. Like it, like it was a really cool sight. Um, he used that for a minute. Um, fucking the action ended up bleeding out into the crowd, and I really like this. So obviously I saw some people talking shit about him doing this with not really remembering that this dude is a fucking had like he's gone through like two different rounds of leukemia treatment. He fucking like the mask thing. He put his mask on whenever the fucking action went out into the crowd, which is the smartest thing that you could do, especially in a pandemic as a cancer survivor, like fucking, I saw like a lot of people on Twitter talking shit about that. Um, you know, like the man's had cancer. Like, shut your fucking mouth. Um, he put his mask on. I thought he looked badass with it though, because he reminded me of Bane a little bit. Um, like walking out there. Um, so that was cool. That was a cool side. So wear your fucking mask, people. Um, The crowd was really into it. Chants of "Holy shit!" and "This is awesome" rang throughout the arena. Um, they did a really cool touch. It was like a really subtle. Well, it's not really subtle actually. It's like Roman's going for the pin, and the Demon kicks out, but does the same low blow spot that Roman did onto him to get the upper hand. Um, he ended up taking advantage. He hit coup de grace. Um, the Usos got involved and broke up the 3 count. Um, and like all the way up to this point, then like it was really high octane, intense, insane action. They started going back and forth. Fucking the Demon powerbombed Jey Uso through the table. Fucking I think fucking Roman speared the Demon through the barricade. Um, and then like there was a spot where like everybody's down, fucking tables have been broken, fucking bodies scattered everywhere. Um, and then the lights turn red, and Finn Balor uh kind of like hulks up a bit, like he starts like convulsing on the ground, and then just fucking hops up to his feet and is just like completely rejuvenated with energy. Um, ends up doing his drop kick on Roman, and that sends him through a table that was set up earlier. Um, and it looks like the Demon is poised to win the match, and then they fucking gave us a fucking Hell in the Cell 2019 moment where Finn Balor, who mind you has already hit one coup de grace in the match, where he's been on the top rope already. He goes to the top rope to hit coup de grace again, and the fucking rope just breaks. The fucking lights go from red back to normal. Fucking the rope's been broken, and he crumples down into a pile in the ring. Gets back up. Roman hits a spear. 1, 2, 3, pins the Demon, and Roman retains. Now, my reaction when I saw this, because this had the potential to be the best match on the card, and the action itself was really good. The ending to me is on a level of 2019 Hell in a Cell whenever they called The Fiend versus Seth Rollins a no contest. Like I think it was that bad because if you watch throughout the action of the weekly shows, we didn't really get an explanation as to why that happened. So like in my mind, I'm supposed to believe that whenever he hulked up and had all this demon power, that he just somehow got cinder blocks for feet and fucking and broke the ring. Like how does this make sense? If you were gonna have Roman go over the demon, I don't think this I don't think this ugh. I think it protects Roman, it protects Finn in a sense and the demon, but I think they did a horrible job of doing it because everybody in the stadium did not really fuck with this at all. Um, I would have rather have seen, you know, the bloodline just throw everything in the kitchen sink at him. Fucking spear after spear, like fucking Superman punches everywhere, Uso splashes all over the place. You know, I would have rather have seen that than what we got with the ring breaking. I I was not happy about that at all. And so I'm interested to hear what you have to say about it because I have a feeling that we're gonna see eye to eye on this one for sure.
What in the fuck was this big old pile of horseshit? I have never seen such garbage in my life. Oh, like the, the memories of the Seth Rollins Fiend match just came flooding in, and I'm like, they're not doing this. Oh, they're not doing this. Like I thought I was hallucinating or some shit. No, they really did that. What the fuck? The ring ropes break. That's how he beats him. The ropes break because all 190 pounds of Finn Balor was too much for those ropes to handle. What kind of bullshit,
He's like, we
bruh?
literally saw fucking like 250 pounds of Sheamus up there mocking Jeff Hardy's fucking dance, fucking earlier in the night. Like we're supposed to believe that all of a sudden, then whenever he hulks up and has all this like power surging through him, that he has enough power to break the ring. I just, oh my god, I want to cry. I'm gonna cry.
No, like what in tarnation? Come on, man. Like, oh, you know how bad that is, Vince? And I can see your old ass backstage. Oh, that's some good shit.
That's
No,
such good
no, it's
shit.
not. Vince, you are smoking the strongest meth I've ever heard of. If you think that shit went over well, no. The ropes beat the demon, the undefeated demon who's went through Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe, all these other people. He loses to the fucking ropes.
Yeah,
What
I,
in the fuck?
I, I, uh, I, I don't even really know what else to say other than you're hitting the nail on the head so many times. It's almost like you're beating a dead horse. Like it's fucking it's literally and it's one of the worst booking decisions in my opinion that I think I've ever seen. It's definitely up there with the Hell in a Cell 2019 ending. I I just think there's so many different ways they could have booked this that would have not been so fucking contrived and ridiculous. This like I know wrestling can be really ridiculous sometimes. This took the cake for me. I and like where and like it's not even with the actual like where does he go from here? Like where does the demon go from here? How does he come back from that?
Yeah,
Does he
the
what does
red
he
light.
just show up at Crown Jewel or something and fucking just go ape shit on Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns? Like, is that what they're gonna do? I mean, that'd be cool, I guess. But like, the worst part about it, like I don't mind spoiling this because I mean, it's not really a spoiler. We didn't get any fucking actual explanation for what
No,
happened here.
no,
It was just
just
something that happened.
yeah, Roman won. That's it. Like,
It's
huh?
and like I don't mind Roman retaining, but the way in which they booked this was just so awful. So awful. I it's like I didn't even want to see it no more. I went to bed that night angry. Like I literally like as soon as the pay-per-view went off air, I got up from my computer, walked over to my bed, laid down, stared at the roof, trying to contemplate everything that I just seen, and I was just pissed off. Like I it, I why? Why was this the call? If that is like if they were gonna have the Usos interfere in the match, literally just have them throw their whole move set at him. If he's gonna Hulk up like that, I think that would have gone over much better. They could have eventually got the upper hand back on him. It just hit him with like 8 spears, 17 Superman punches, have the Usos break their ribs doing fucking Uso splashes. I don't care. Just fucking do something other than that. Like,
Yeah, man.
it was just not good. It's like literally in my notes. The last thing that I have is what the fuck was this? 'Cause really, like what the fuck was this?
I, man, I have no words. Like this,
I
some like you said, horse shit. Like
th-
what?
some dog shit ass garbage is what it was.
We talking about the dry white dog shit too. We ain't talking about the fresh. No.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about one of them fucking turds that have been sitting in the sun for weeks and is fucking rock hard now.
Yep. Yep, it is a rock solid, dry ass fucking dog turd. And yeah. So with with that said,
Yeah,
the only reason I'm not giving the show a lower rating out of 10 is because we did get the Usos and the Street Profits, which was an incredible match. But that is really all that saved it for me. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10.
you're better than me. I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah, I gave it a 5 simply off of the Usos and the Street Profits alone. I was I was not happy with the booking in this pay-per-view. I feel like especially after what we got with pay-per-views like SummerSlam, you know, and even if you want to throw AEW in there and All Out, like
Yeah,
like we've gotten some really good pay-per-views this year from both ends, from both companies. I think this was probably the worst one of the year, so by far. Um,
yeah.
and that's saying something because you know it's
Yeah, I know, brother.
this felt like everything like how you thought about like the six man tag, like a lot of what happened here could have just been on a regular episode of Raw or
Yep,
SmackDown.
yep.
uh and then the matches that we were really hyped up for, like we got a DQ finish, we got the ropes breaking, a bunch of dog shit ass garbage. So
Yeah.
yeah, five out of 10 for me. I know this is a bit more of a negative show, but I mean, we got to call him like we see him, man. This was just awful. Um,
Oh yeah, it was dreadful.
10 out of 10. I highly recommend never watching this. Um, like I said, fucking highly recommend never watching this pay per view. I'm glad that it's over, and that we're moving on. 'Cause fuck, this was just. Oh man, I'm gonna have a fucking stroke if I talk about it anymore. So, so yeah, we're just gonna end off here. You have any closing comments?
Yeah. Fuck Vince McMahon. Fuck Extreme Rules. Fuck exploding ropes. Uh, yeah, that's about it. Fuck
Yeah,
WWE. That's for that shit.
I feel you there, man. Yeah, yeah, definitely fuck Extreme Rules. Fuck this dog shit. Hopefully Crown Jewel will be better, which who knows
Mhm.
if it will or not. I mean, we're gonna get Brock versus Roman, but you know maybe they do the exploding ring superplex spot again. Who knows? Uh, fuck it. Uh, uh, but hopefully Crown Jewel is good, man. I mean, we'll see. Typically, typically the Saudi shows are just a lot of fan service bullshit for the people that live over there anyway.
Uh-huh.
That's why we got Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet for the WWE Championship that one year. Uh,
Oh, I forgot about that hot shit.
oh my God. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I definitely think for a card that had the potential to be one of the better WWE pay-per-views of the year, it under-delivered so much. The booking decisions in this were ass, um, and that's really all I gotta say about it. So if you've seen this, if you've made it all the way through, uh, thank you for watching. Um,
Yeah.
catch us in the next episode. We'll be covering all the weekly shows, and we do have a top 10 list coming as well. We'll be doing a top 10 for talent across AEW and WWE that we think would benefit from a title push and what title that should be. So check that out if you're interested, and we will see you in the next one. So from Diavolo,
And lunchbox.
thank you for tuning in, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.
See you. Peace out.